For decades, Milwaukee has struggled with fair housing. In 2021, Souls to the Polls is making fair housing a priority.
Right now, we're in a fight for a seat at the table as funding for low-income, affordable housing is being discussed.
Hey, do you want to know how to make your money work for you, even while you're sleeping? I'm learning how to invest for the long game. It's called financial literacy. And the cool thing about it is that decisions I make today can put me in a much better position for the future. Most of this stuff isn't even talked about in school. But if you hang with me, you're gonna learn the difference between owning a new pair of Nikes and the ability to own your own home. All this is coming up next, so stay tuned.
In this next module, I'm learning about credit. Credit is the ability to purchase goods and services today and pay for them later. Credit means convincing a lender to provide you with a loan in return for a promise to pay the amount back, plus interest. There are different types of credit and potential downsides. It's important to understand exactly what you'll be agreeing to before applying for an account. Let's go through the credit module now.
My name is spelled Janus, and that is for the month of January. My mother was in high school a Latin scholar in her high school days, and she named me Janus when she grew up and had me because I was born in the month of January. And Janus is the god of, like the month of January, the god of beginnings and endings, of new life and of looking at the gates on what is past.
As we celebrate Black History Month, let us remember a few things. Before enslavement, we were kings and queens on a continent that spoke more than 2,000 languages. Separated from our families, we were forced to make the voyage to a new land, forced to abandon native languages, and kept ignorant of any formal education. By the start of the Civil War, there were more than 400,000 enslaved people in America.
The day of Jubilee, in which we make a general account of all actions before Almighty God. Now, is there a date in this one? March 12. Here's a National Reader. And it's dated, can you read the date?
Yes, 1894.
1834.
1834.
The family, my father just had these in a cupboard, in his den, and we were not allowed to touch them.
With a bit of help from artificial intelligence, we're developing a new video segment for young people. We'll be reporting some amazing stories about heroes that history has kept in shadow. It'll be exciting because we will bring a global perspective to Black history. For example, did you know that Septimius Severus was the first African-born Roman emperor? And for a period, he ruled Britain. And wait until you learn about the amazing legend of Bessie Coleman, one of my favorites. She accomplished what many said she'd never do. She had to first learn another language before she could learn to fly. Our village is indeed much larger than you may have thought. We'll have more to report in the coming months, so stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Zora.
And I'm Cornell.
And we are the roving reporters for Climb USA. Climb USA is led by individuals who have a unique and rich blend of knowledge that they so generously share with us. In fact, founder Robert Wynn recently received the Governor's Financial Literacy Legacy Award for his multiple decades of financial education and economic development promotion.
The summer stock market game teaches that special subtopic in financial literacy that most youth often miss.
My uncle got me interested in history, 'cause every time he came around he told us about something that happened back in the day, about black heroes in our community and around the world. My uncle was like a black history news anchor giving the Bronzeville report. Back then there was lots of news to report, but our folks didn't get it as fast as we do now. For a long time, news got relayed by word of mouth. But imagine this. What if people like my uncle could have delivered breaking news fast, like we get it today? Can you imagine if some avatar popped up and started reading news headlines?
We have breaking news. This just in from the United States Circuit Court in St. Louis, Missouri. In a landmark decision, the U.S. Supreme Court has handed down its ruling in the Dred Scott case.
In a landmark decision, the United States Supreme Court has upheld the constitutionality of racial segregation. The case, known as Plessy v. Ferguson, was decided by a vote of 7-1. The court ruled that separate but equal facilities for African Americans and whites did not violate the 14th Amendment of the Constitution.
The stories we tell are patches, woven into a quilt of family and community memory. It is this generational knowledge that must be passed along and nurtured, and it will be the task of our children to share and protect these stories. We have stories of migration, trials, and triumph. We have stories of love, loss, and dreams come true. Though some have fallen and, despite our best efforts, could not be helped, they are leaves on our tree and will be remembered. Every child's bedroom should be decorated with their family tree, listing the full name of each ancestor, and they should know that not every hero's story appears in a book.
Black man, born free, at least that's the way it's supposed to be. Chains that binds him are hard to see unless you take this walk with me. Place where he lives, he's got plenty of names. Slums, ghetto, and black belt, they are one and the same, and I call it any kind of job is hard to find. That means an increase in the welfare line. Crime rate is rising too. If you were hungry, what would you do? Rent is 2 months past due, and a building that's falling apart. Little boy needs a pair of shoes, and this is only a part.